than $1. The most change have this nice scent we usually get from the government. You see, change is something we always say, but every time we change, things remain the same way. Things keep getting worse. Change within the school systems. Stop changing ministers and change what we teach them. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. It's murders, killings galore. So much gunmen fighting needless war. I can't tell you stay, can't tell you go, cause they still the land we used to know. Homeless, every corner you meet, and they complimented by our dirty streets. Then we wonder why in our sister isle, why they don't like Trinis to come and spend time. Well, you see, it's much more than paving a whole road, and it's greater than fixing a lamp pole. Change is about the whole nation and how we are portrayed when the party done. Who set these standards in my TNT? Really wish somebody here could tell me. It's just the same thing again and again, like we leaders don't use the brain. So change the change within our country. Change the change so the whole world could see. Change the change for a better future, so we don't have to depend on our next day. I say change the change within the society, otherwise we have a bandit factory. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. In our youth, we leave all the weight, cause in most leaders, we done lost faith. They're full of such greed. Oh Father, I plead, please Lord have some mercy on the seas. Cause the youth are trying their best, but they're born in this place of lies and commerce. So eventually, when things get heavy, chances are they might turn out just like we. But you see, could put an end to all this foolishness and could break this chain link of sadness. Change could help our leaders to grow and start preparing youths for tomorrow. Don't see change as something timely and start seeing change as your duty. To stop them from hurting one day is we had to point the way. So change the change for better transparency. Change the change for better economy. Change the change so no man one day will take we money and just fly away. I say for young Calypsonians and stop saying culture is in good hands. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you. For those who don't know how to arrange or what I might mean by change the change, it means restructure what is regular so that we can have a different culture. From Kaiso, they get solutions, but still they treat us like the stupid ones. They neglecting we repeatedly, constantly insulting our country. But if we change, we'll understand to value each other, and change would mean there's a better future. I hope one day our leaders know through culture and media is how people grow. While they're fighting politically, wasting the nation's time and money, they're paying people for advisory, but like my own it is for free. So change the change for the struggling pan man. Change the change for that old Kaisonian. Change the change for the elderly, so grandma and grandpa could die happy. I said change the change for all of us opposition. So next time they'll approve legislation. But things won't change despite all we do if change doesn't start with you.
So let me start off by saying a very special good afternoon to you, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Of the afternoon to those of you on the web. Locking us down right now via our Facebook and our YouTube pages. Are coming to come. The voice is coming to come. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to those of you who continue to reach out and send your blessings and hope I feel well, sending your remedies, etc. Thank you guys so much. I want you to let people know that the Queen of Talk is here. I'm on the radio and we have 3 full hours today. I'm going to start off by saying good afternoon to those of you on YouTube. Althea Allen, Ann Niles, Spice, Jerry Williams, Yvette McPhee, Diane Payne, Nigel Woodley. Good afternoon to you guys. I want to say good afternoon to those of you on Facebook. Angela Richards, good afternoon to John Edwards, Mr. Bago Sunshine, Shah, Emmeline Harvey, Francilla Macano, Lisa King. Good afternoon to you guys. Like the video and share the live when you get in here. Let me see how we looking so far. So far, not too bad. 26 people have shared our video. We say as you get in to like the video and share the live. So guys, I'm opening up the lines pretty early. So much ground to cover today. Making news in our world. 2 new electoral districts. Yeah? In the upcoming local government election. How do you guys feel about that? Also making news, the opposition is getting ready to protest. Yes, they're protesting by the DPP's office for what we don't know. So they're getting ready to make some mischief there. Calls for the independent senators to step down by an attorney at law. Already 48 hours on the job, Christine Kangaloo, mind you, has her hands full. And I know the Prime Minister was scheduled to have a press conference today. I want to bring you greetings from the press conference and little snippets of it as well. So guys, I'm going to open up the lines and allow you to come in. What is making news in your world? I understand yesterday when I was not here, Mr. Andy Pitbull Williams find it necessary to take advantage of that and to call in on the afternoon show to spread his propaganda and misinformation. Well, I'm hoping that Andy Williams can call back in today when I hear, so I could take Andy Williams to task for some of the dotishness he would have said yesterday. For those of you who know Andy Williams, you know him quite well, because every time he end up in trouble, he just come right here on the afternoon show and sit down by me and beg. Either beg his party to take him back like he has done in the past, after it's alleged that Mr. Tanku hit him, or come here to beg his party members not to kill him, as he has done in the past. He come here and say people in the UNC wanted to kill him. Shortly after, we know Andy Williams had a issue that we don't wish to go back there. So I find it passing strange that Andy Williams isn't comfortable when I am here to call in and to discuss what he wanted to discuss with Dale yesterday. Because every single time he gets himself into problems, it's me he's come by. So to call to talk about your protest, Andy, I'm hoping you can call today, because I have a few things that I would like to say to you, Andy. While you're getting ready to go out and protest in support of the DPP, Andy, I would like you to take the same energy and let us protest a little higher up the road by the leader of the opposition's office as we continue to look at the effects of human trafficking. Andy Williams, please call me today. I'm opening the lines to take your calls. Feel free to call in, guys. The lines are open. Tell a friend to tell a friend. The Queen of Talk is on the radio. Let's go.
Please, Lord, have some mercy on the seas. Cause the youth are trying their best, but they're born in this place of lies and commerce. So eventually, when things get heavy, chances are they might turn out just like we. But you see, could put an end to all this foolishness and could break this chain link of sadness. Change could help our leaders to grow and start preparing youths for tomorrow. Don't see change as something timely and start seeing change as your duty. To stop them from hurting one day is we have to point the way. So change the change for better transparency. Change the change for better economy. Change the change so no man one day will take we money and just fly away. I say
also, to let you guys know, Len Capital is doing a call-in show today. So we're going to be talking to him in the next hour. And in the last hour, we're going to be talking about rituals and necromancy. You don't want to miss that show, eh? That's the last hour. Caller, you live.
Hello to my darling.
How you doing, mommy?
It's nice to see you back. Your voice is much clearer. Not there, you didn't get it, but you know it's coming to come, right? Well, I sure would have been listening to the program yesterday afternoon.
Mommy, I could have fallen off my bed.
Well, listen to me. You didn't hear me not calling?
I heard you.
And say you will never call your program, but he called yesterday afternoon to talk a set of rubbish. You have to promote your business on your radio station when the morning come on our radio station. But I want to ask him this afternoon. You remember the court had ordered him to pay some money to Gladiator? Over
yes,
$250,000. You remember
I remember that.
I want to ask him if he paid or it's still outstanding. And I want to ask him again, right? Yesterday was his grandmother's birthday, 95 years. Andy Williams, did you go and carry like a little ice cream or cake and a bouquet of flowers up? And I want to ask him before come on this station, Andy Williams, who killed Gladiator? I gone.
Lord Father. Thank you, mommy. That information I do not have, mommy. I don't have that information at all. The lines are open. We are taking your calls. I look forward to having a very, very fun-filled show today. We're looking at rituals and necromancy in the last hour today. Because there are people, while they're heading to protest at the DPP's office, they are going there with candles. You heard me right. The same people going to the DPP's office to protest is going there with candles. And those same people are the ones going to consultations with coffins. I have someone we're going to be talking with in the last hour who's going to explain rituals to us. And the fact that these things that appear to be normal aren't normal. Nobody has a protest and attends protest with a candle like Andy Williams and others is calling on the protesters to go down by the DPP office with candles. And nobody attends consultations with coffins. Pay attention, people. The lines are open.
If you can look as far as I see, within this great land we call TNT, there's birds and bees, rivers and seas, pretty woman bringing man to their knees. Treasures of this blessed land we always neglect like ISO and pan. I find it so strange the way we arrange. Still this nation don't know how to change. To some change by just mean a new cow could mean less.
All right, so we're going to pause for a cause. Dr. Rowley is live at a press conference now. We're going to take any press conference at this time.
To tell lies about the facts of this country. And I speak to you like this, not as Prime Minister, but as a citizen. That is what is going on. I probably told you all too many things today. I tell you one more thing. We have 10,000 police officers in this country. About 9,999 are good people. Right? But we have a lot of people in the systems. And they will tell you that the Prime Minister, me, tell the authorities in the Coast Guard, in the Defense Force, in the police service. I've been telling them all along, if you have people in these agencies who are falling short where corruption is concerned or any kind of misconduct that is seriously threatening the standards that you require to be, get them out. Let them go to the court and complain. If they succeed in the court, more power to them, but at least they're not there undermining the country. During the days of COVID, when we used to have the curfew, there were people advertising curfew nights where you could come in 9 o'clock and leave 5 o'clock for a fee. And if you leave before, with a different fee. And they will supply you with goods inside and drinks. Set up brothels all over the country, advertising that. As head of national security of this country, National Security Council, I called in the police and said, that needs your attention. And I was told they arranged the night shift, the all-night shift for the ladies started at 9 o'clock for $500 a room. And the police did what they had to do, and they were going there at 10 o'clock to each door at 10 o'clock. Everything was in place. Defense Force police went. They didn't hold one person. That night, not one person was in the hotels. Everyone was empty. The only person who was there was the secretary by the gate, by the counter. That is Trinidad and Tobago at work. Understand? So let us understand the nature of our country and the nature of the problem we're dealing with, because a lot of you will sympathize and have sympathy and have become bleeding hearts for people who get rooted out from these situations, not realizing the damage that they're doing to the country. You fix the problems 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, or 4 by 4. That's what this government is doing.
Because it's system flawed. That you
sound like you were listening to my friend. I heard my friend Bazio Pandi saying that yesterday. But what exactly in the Constitution you want to change? Until you tell me what aspect of the Constitution you want to reform and what the reform is going to be, I can't answer you. Because that catch-all phrase of Constitution reform, right? Constitution reform. What exactly are you going to reform? I know what I'm saying when I say that. Because I say this whole question of this super independence of independent service commissions is something that needs to be looked at in the modern Trinidad and Tobago. It has created models that are inimical to good order, and it damages management. Right? But we didn't have the trust in ourselves in 1962 that we ring-fence all these things in these commissions, many of which are not properly suited. I mean, we can, that's for another time, right? But today I can tell you, when I speak about reform of the Constitution, that's what I'm talking about from my prescription. But when people just say, well, okay, the police is not functioning, I heard somebody ask, how could the DPP have been protected from the Prime Minister in this scenario that they've created? And he said, reform of the Constitution. What does that mean? I have no recommendation to make to change the DPP's authority. The DPP's authority about being able to prescribe and prefer charges against people against whom evidence has been advanced. I don't want to change that. I don't want to change the power to get into a matter and end it because it's seen to be a travesty. But between those two positions, the day-to-day operations of offices.
Are you ready? Here we are in say Sean B. Whoa, only Rasta liberate our people. Don't let them fool you. Alright, oh, stop free my people. Don't let them, and we won't let them. Why try to make I unhappy, oh? Really, I don't know. If it was up to them, I say, would I ever? Oh, that mystical communication. We come together. Oh, I love to see when my brothers and sisters are. That's the way it should be. Not contrary. Not I try, you try, everywhere. What? Oh, don't let them fool you. Oh, stop free the people. Those over hills. Oh, and don't let them fool you. Alright. Our folks won't do.
It's the weekend.
Yo. It's a feel-good weekend.
On the street.
I wanna make love to you.
Where we turn down the talk and turn up the music. Playing all your favorite songs and artists of yesterday and today.
We sing, take me after down before. When all the sun get red, I'm like a blazing fire.
Right here on the street, 919 FM.
Refresh and reflect on the street, 919 FM.
You got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street, 919 FM.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, low sales, or slow cash flow. It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Councillor for Monrepo Nave Nigel Courtier presents Easter Monday Sport and Family Day, Monday 10th April at the Monrepo Recreational Grounds. Come join our 5K run. Kickoff time 5:30 a.m. Then watch as our match pass teams battle for victory. Take part in our Easter egg hunt, track and field, ring games, punchboard, and a whole lot more fun events fit for the entire family. Also, be a part of our fitness burnout. Yes! Trophies, medals, and cash prizes to be won. Food and drinks will be on sale. Bring your entire family and be a part of Councillor for Monrepo Navet, Mr. Nigel Portier. Easter Monday Sport and Family Day, the 10th of April 2023. For more information, call 610-2861.
Hey, fitness is not just about your body. It starts in your mind, by what you think and how you feel about yourself every day you're alive. If you want your body to be fit, you actually have to be also fit in your mind. Try fitness from a different point of view. If you're having struggles with weight, diet, sleeping, or even mental and emotional battles, the Vanity Fit training transforms your body and your mind. Remember, it all starts with what you think. For this amazing journey, contact the Vanity Fit at 463-2098 or email us at thevanityfit@gmail.com. That's DIVANITYFIT@gmail.com. For personal fitness training with a difference, contact the Vanity Fit today.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Good hands, but things won't change despite.
But by Monday night, when I saw the newspaper, because I read the newspapers every day, early in the morning as fast as I can get, first thing in the morning sometimes, because I want to know what the population is being told by others in particular, and sometimes what the government is saying to the population. So I am a papers person, I read the papers. When I read the editorial in the Guardian on Monday night, before the public meeting of the UNC on Monday night, I realized that I had to talk to you today about fact and fiction. Ladies and gentlemen, there's hardly a person in this country who has been here during the last week or who have been paying attention to us from outside during the last week who have not seen issues of great import, especially since those issues had to do with the whole question of the country's judiciary, the conduct of our jurisprudence, the officers involved, and so on and so on. And some people just took delight in misrepresenting the facts in that situation, but dangerously so. I want to read for you a couple paragraphs published in the Guardian of Democracy, the Guardian Opinion. The headline was, "Destructive Contention Among State Officials." Apparently that describes what was happening during the week. And listen to this very carefully. It's now printed, in fact, in an opinion in a major newspaper in Trinidad and Tobago. In defense of recent allegations made against him by the Prime Minister, DPP Roger Gaspard has complained that staff limitations and the inadequacy of new office space offered by the government had stymied the effective functioning of his office. Let me read the first phrase for you. In defense of recent allegations made against him by the Prime Minister. First and foremost, they're talking about what I said at the PNM meeting a few days before. That what I said was not an allegation. I made no allegation against any person. I made a statement of fact about a government tenancy in a private building that was rented by contract for 3 years for a particular purpose. And I also did mention that somewhere between the office of the DPP and Special Branch, there was some issue, and I didn't go into any details. But the end result of that is that the building had not been used for over 3 years. And in terms of outfitting the building and paying the lease, taxpayers had paid $45 million. That was in the context of the problem of the destructive contention among state officials. What was going on? Had to do, somewhere in there, had to do with office space. And I draw your attention to the fact, one, that I made no allegation. So it is not correct for the Guardian to say that some allegation made against somebody by the Prime Minister is what caused the DPP to be responding because the record will show that the DPP spoke on I-95 on the 8th of March. In whatever conversation he had there to deal with his office and the operations of the office and decisions he made, that was on the 8th of March. I spoke on the 9th. So how could the DPP be responding to allegations made by the Prime Minister? But because they want to say what they went on to say in great detail after, they had very subtly to put me as making allegations and the DPP responding to the behavior of the Prime Minister when no such thing happened in Trinidad and Tobago. No such thing happened. And I want to go further and say that when I spoke, I was quite aware of what the DPP had said. I heard some of it on the news. I didn't hear the interview. I heard some of it on the news. And it didn't really come across as anything brand new, because I had followed, and I always follow these things that I tell you. I read the papers, I follow the parliamentary proceedings and so on, even when I'm not in parliament or in the debate. And I'd seen those issues before the parliament already. Staffing and accommodation. What I had not seen was the written position that staffing could not progress because of the accommodation that was not available. And of course, I'll come back to the point of what the government did. But I simply want to say that that statement by the Guardian, that the DPP was responding to allegations made against him, I reject that out of hand, and it is not true, it is not correct. The DPP handled his stories before he made his decision. He went to the radio station, he made his comments. After that, as Prime Minister, I spoke, and I confined myself very carefully to the singular area where the government had an input. And that area was with the providing of accommodation. That was the behavior of your Prime Minister. I did not touch anything to do with staffing, because that is not a matter that is dealt with by the cabinet, except that if the cabinet is required to change the establishment, to broaden it, to expand it, the cabinet is required to do that, and the cabinet did that. Even so, I did not touch that, I did not mention that. The issue I mentioned was where the cabinet would have been seen to have a role to play in accommodation. And I thought, in a country where people always want to know everything and should want to know, especially parliamentarians, that the public would want to know that you are paying $600,000 a month in rent for a building that is not being used. Of course, I've seen criticism of that, because it didn't suit some people for that to be made public. But I have to report to the country, as head of the cabinet that took the decision to rent the building, I thought a simple statement of fact would have been useful. And I go on. The immediate paragraph after that, that misrepresentation, is that these matters have come to the fore in the wake of the DPP discontinuing corruption cases against Ramdeen and Ram Logan. Now, I want to say to the public that I have had absolutely nothing to say about Ramdeen and Ram Logan's situation in the court as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. None of you in the media could show where my government had a role to play in that, or to comment about the DPP's behavior in it. No way. But then, the editorial goes on to say, Prime Minister Rowley invested quite an amount of political capital in the case against Ram Logan and Ramdeen. Where did I do that? other than reading the story in the papers and being aware, like everybody else, that these two people have been charged for stealing public money, where does the Prime Minister, acting as Prime Minister, invest in Ramdeen and Ramlogan situation? And of course, they go on to talk about ammunition for elections and so on, but I forget that. But the papers go on to say, clearly annoyed by the loss of propaganda possibilities, Prime Minister Rowley released volleys of condemnation against the DPP. So the world outside would know that in Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister Rowley, released volleys of condemnation against the DPP. I ask every member of the Guardian staff and owner, where did I do that? What aspect of my statement, my action, my waking up or my going to bed can be described as volleys of condemnation of the DPP? Today, as an office holder, public office holder, I would say if the Guardian has any conscience as the guardian of democracy and and this people in this country worthy of any respect, that you would apologize for that misrepresentation and what I call an outright lie. Because nothing that I have said or done, one could say, well, you misunderstood it or you took it in the wrong context. Nothing that I have said in a reasonable context, anybody could say that they could identify it as unleashing volleys of condemnation against the Director of Public Prosecution. And all of that has a purpose. Because the conversation during the week, by the time this was published on Monday, the entire conversation during the week is, in their words, the attack on the DPP by the Prime Minister. And I will come to the official opposition very soon. And then, of course, the editorial goes on to talk about, unfortunately, it's the public interests which have been trampled underground while the elephants have fought. That is after making the case that the Prime Minister was attacking the DPP and the DPP was defending himself in response to the Prime Minister's attack. All lies. But then, interestingly enough, in going down a road that has been followed very closely by the opposition members, here this paragraph by a newspaper that has been here for decades, if not centuries. A damning example of how justice is to be pursued is highlighted by the fact that a United States citizen charged in the same Piarco airport scandal has not only been found guilty in this country's judicial system, but has long served his jail sentence. So apparently, this newspaper only know about his. Let me, for the benefit of the public, in the context of the behavior of the opposition leader who followed on from this editorial on the Monday night. As far as the opposition leader was concerned, the persons who had been beneficiaries of the DPP's action were persons who were, in her words, framed by the PNM, harassed by the PNM, charged by the PNM, suffered by the PNM for a hoax called Piarco Airport scandal. And of course, this great day in the morning came when the DPP discontinued the prosecution. I want to make this statement again. Nowhere at any time can any person truthfully point to a situation where the decision of the Director of Public Prosecution has been challenged by anybody in my government. Nobody in the PNM, as far as I know, has ever taken public issue with any decision of the DPP on a particular case. So for it to be said that what happened with these individuals being the beneficiaries of a discontinuation of a matter by the DPP is something that is now to turn the country upside down because the government is fighting the DPP over that. Where are the facts to support that? You media point to me one phrase from anybody in my government who took issue with the DPP's decision. On the contrary, the opposition, they won the lottery, jumping up and down, enjoying it. We in the PNM, we said nothing. The DPP had done its job, and we had no comment to make. Not then, not before, not this issue, not any other. It is a fallacy to say, to tell the world that in my country, in the country where I lead as Prime Minister, that the direction, the decision of the DPP has come under attack by members of this government because the government didn't like the decision. Where is the fact to support that? Other than your surmising or your dinner table talk with that, but when you come out publicly and saying so and printing that, where is the fact to support that? And you call yourself what? Opposition leader selling that story to the world that in our country, that is what's happening? It is a lie. And of course the paper talks about a person who was convicted. Let me tell you. And the opposition leader talk about Piako being a hoax and these ladies and whoever old man that they free because PN Prime look and fight the DPP because all fabricated nonsense. But just for the refresher, it's a hoax according to the opposition leader. And Piako never happened, according to her. It's all PNM. And she said for 2 elections or how many elections, we went after the Pandy government, we went after her government, and went after these unfortunate people. So, according to her, Piako Airport Inquiry was merely a witch hunt. Well, arising out of this witch hunt, American criminals from the Piako witch hunt, hoax, it implicated locals in crime at Piako Airport. They were named in court, and Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bissasa's government attempted to save them from extradition by enacting and proclaiming Section 34. Fact. The Section 34 scandal, which is the biggest scandal attached to any government in this country, in the history of politics in this country and governance, led by Kamla Prasad Bissassa and her cohorts, was an attempt to have the people associated with Piako's airport criminal activities not face the court. Legislation was brought to the parliament. Parliamentarians were misled. Government brought it. Opposition and independents were misled. And in the dead of night, on a weekend, it was proclaimed. And on Monday morning, these same people who were facing the hoax, according to Kamla Prasad Bissassa, they went to the court to benefit from what she had put in the court. There was an uprising in this country. I led the march. It was the biggest march in Port of Spain outside Carnival Day, where the population came out and said no. It was such a rejection of what the government had done, that blatant attempt to protect their friends from criminal prosecution, that she had to come back to the parliament the following week, reenact a law retroactively to undo what they attempted to do under Section 34. And she's still here today, nasting up the country's name by making all kinds of spurious allegations against the government in a matter where the Director of Public Prosecution has done his job with let or hindrance. The agreement in the United States before Justice Paul Huck in the United States District Court and the Southern District of Florida. Let me give you the outcome of that, those plea agreements. where people plead guilty and throw themselves in front of the court. There's a fellow called Armando Paz, former chief financial officer of the American company Calmaquip. He pleaded guilty to 12 counts of bank fraud associated with the Piaco issue. Another one called Rene Diaz de Villegas, former vice president of finance. He pleaded guilty to wire fraud and transporting money obtained by fraud. Another one called Richard Lackle of Aruba. He pleaded guilty to structuring the transaction to evade reporting. Another one called Mora Rodriguez pleaded guilty to transport money taken by fraud.
We're going to pause for a cause and come right back with more from the Prime Minister. Interesting press conference.
Why they don't like Trinis to come and spend time? Well, you see, it's much more than paving a whole road, and it's greater than fixing a lamp pole.
Yeah.
No. Look where we reach again. End up in a party in the streets again. Even though I never wanna cheat, it's 1,000 man and 1,000 girl. I wanna jam on.
Look where we reach, you know. Hey, why we bringing sun up to the beach, you know. Just let the relationship breathe. I is not your man, you is not my girl. Until we reach home. So you could jump up who you want and I go and I want you all like it. And it's just you to wine on everybody inside, yeah. Like yourself, like yourself, like yourself. So you could jump up who you want and I go and I want you all like it. And it's just you to wine on everybody inside, yeah. Like yourself, like yourself, like yourself. Until the party done.
To wine, so don't come and try to interrupt me vibe. Even if I wind down rude with an ex-man, you will have to get no straight.
That thing is happen when we party hard. I ain't trying to stop you from your plan at all. Look at bumper, I ready to jump. I ain't looking for y'all, cause you do what you want. So when you're ready, you can jump up who you want and I go and I want who I like it. And it's just you to wine on everybody inside, yeah. Like yourself, like yourself, like yourself. So you can jump up who you want and I go and I want who I like it. And it's just you to wine on everybody inside, yeah. Like yourself, like yourself, like yourself. Until the party done.
Why don't try to run the line?
And you don't try to stop me vibes, oh no.
You do what you want, I do what I like.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Refresh and reflect on the Street 919 FM.
You got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
Julia, how our daughter bright so?
What you mean?
Kelly's so young and already talking about when she gets her first job, taking out a mortgage with TTMF at 2%.
She knows about 2%?
Yes, 2% with no down payment as a first-time homeowner and the lowest rate on the market. We would not have to dip into our savings to set her up. Where she get all these brains from?
Her mother, of course.
TTMF, from here to home.
Every year, thousands of students make career choices at the secondary school level. Tertiary level students graduate and step out into the world of work. New businesses open and new types of jobs are created, while some workers leave jobs or switch careers. Is there data to guide persons when making these decisions? Happening over 3 months, the Ministry of Labour, in collaboration with Kyrie Consultants, will engage 2,000 private and state enterprise stakeholders from across across industries in Trinidad and Tobago to administer the Ministry of Labor's Job Vacancy Survey for private sector and state enterprises. Who benefits from this survey? Everyone. Students, make informed career choices. Job seekers, find out in which field vacancies exist. Employers, use data for your recruitment and HR planning. Training organizations, use this data to tailor your program curriculum. Economists and government, plan and develop programs for training, development, and scholarships. Job Vacancy Survey 2023. Employment data for everyone. Working towards developing Trinidad and Tobago. This message brought to you by the Ministry of Labour and the Information Division, Government Communications.
Hi, I'm Valentine Garcia.
And I'm Nikki Garcia.
Please join us on the Final Hour broadcast every Thursday at 9 a.m. on The Street 919 FM radio.
Every week we will journey into the amazing Word of God. So please join us.
See you then.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Onia Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud. Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Do you want to invest, but think you don't have enough money? Or you simply don't know how to? Well, today you have your answer. Lend Capital Certificates offers a package that helps you build your wealth while investing and earning interest. To find out more about this package, you can visit our website at lendcapital.com. You can also call or WhatsApp 324-LEN for more information about the Each One Help One package. And remember, at Len Capital Certificates, it's all about you.
Tune into The Street 91.9 FM
every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
for the Repairing of the Breach radio program with me, Bishop Showinau Thomas.
The scripture says, "And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in."
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on The Street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Thursday from 10:05 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. for the program Straight and Narrow, The Way of Life, The Health Store, being brought to you by Mrs. Arlene Collins Mohammed. For more information, check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Straight and Narrow, or visit our website at www.opulence.com/Arlene4Life. You can also call or WhatsApp at 309-4697 or 620-9379.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Trinidad and Tobago money taken by fraud. The U.S. government agreed to reduce prison terms for the men, but only if they agreed to cooperate fully in ongoing investigations and prosecutions involving the Piaco Airport case. That matter is going on right now as I'm standing here in front of you. The former Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago is representing the country and also as a witness in this matter that's going on right now. He has been in Florida since the 3rd of March, I think, and due to be there until the end of the month because the case is going on. Never mind the silence in Trinidad and Tobago. The case is going on in Florida. U.S. court documents reveal that Calmaquip, one of the major suppliers, conspired with others to fix bids in 1996 to secure contracts. Hillman wrote bid requirements to eliminate competitors. These are facts, history of history. And of course, there are other people whose names I will not call now because they are involved in the current trial. I'll leave that for so. But I tell you, I gave you this reminder so that you could ask yourself, how against this background could the leader of the opposition, a former prime minister, be allowed to tell you now and you all publish it without any question that the whole Piarco story is a hoax and it was the PNM that was trying to go after his political opponents? How could that be? People have been to jail over this matter. I tell you worse than that. Under the UNC, monies have been paid to Trinidad and Tobago in recompense, where some persons would have already paid back some of the money. It was done in silence and in secret under the UNC government. Never made news in this country. So they can come and tell you now that it's all a hoax. It never happened. It's all the PNM going after its political opponents. And we buy that and passing it on as the state of play until it reached the point where the opposition leader is calling for police investigation of the former Attorney General and the current Prime Minister in a matter that has nothing to do with me whatsoever. But it sounds good on a UNC platform without nothing to talk. You see, one person forfeited $22 million in property and assets and had to pay, hear the verb, had to pay restitution to Trinidad and Tobago not exceeding $4 million. I think the figure was $2 million plus what they paid. That is on the record already. That's why I could quote it now. And a former prime minister and a current opposition leader who was part of the government that was responsible for public money being handled in this way could come here now and tell you what she told you on Monday night. And I could watch it on the news. Long newsreel of Kamala Prasad Bisesa attacking the government, attacking me, and accusing the PNM of malicious, baseless prosecution of people. But I want to say one thing to you in the media. How come the PNM could have done that? All these people, especially local people, who are being said to have been prosecuted by the PNM through these charges, where would these charges have passed to get to the criminal court? Wouldn't it have had to go to the DPP office? So when you say the PNM has been prosecuting people who are before the court, aren't you automatically saying that the DPP's office, whoever is the DPP, all the staff in the DPP office was doing the PNM's bidding to bring charges against people where there was no evidence to charge them? Isn't that what you're saying? Because that is what self-appointed senior counsel, former Prime Minister, opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa is telling the world. And I could tell you to the contrary, that nowhere in those proceedings about who should be charged, what they should be charged for, who should be let go, nobody could point to me, anybody in my government or in the PNM political party that I lead, as having directed those actions. They would all have been done in the normal proceedings of a normal day's work in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. And when you add that to the fact that I said earlier on, that nobody could point to me a comment made or an action taken by the government about the decision of the DPP, then you can understand why I can say here today, without fear of contradiction, there is no attack on the DPP in Trinidad and Tobago by the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And there's no attack on the DPP by the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So when Basdio Pandi comes out to have a few drinks with us, he must have had the drinks already when he gets up and says that the Director of Public Prosecution is going to be crushed by the government. Absolute hogwash. Nonsense. And I will not stand here quietly and allow former Prime Ministers of the UNC who are responsible for this PRCO scandal to come and talk that nonsense in the public domain and have it go unchallenged. I will challenge
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Do you want to invest, but think you don't have enough money, or you simply don't know how to? Well, today you have your answer. Lend Capital Certificates offers a package that helps you build your wealth while investing and earning interest. To find out more about this package, you can visit our website at lendcapital.com. You can also call or WhatsApp 324-LEN for more information about the Each One Help One package. And remember, at Lend Capital Certificates, it's all about you.
What matter to Parliament? I was the one who told you that door cost $96,000 in PRCO Airport. I was the one who told you that NIPDEC was given the opportunity to award the contract, and they awarded the contract in violation of NIPDEC tender rules. NIPDEC had published printed tender rules, and when the tender rules were seen to be violated because they were supposed to go out for tenders, meaning inviting many persons to bid, they gave it to one person, and then they went and changed the tender rules to say that singular equals plural and male equals female. So when they did not comply with the tender rules to have tenders, the tender now qualify because they changed the tender rules. That is what happened under the UNC in this country. And as fate would have it, I am here now as Prime Minister, and I have to watch Mr. Kamla Prasad Bisesa try to turn all of this on his head on a Monday night and tell you that the problem you're facing is a Prime Minister who wants to be a dictator. And she will not allow the country to become a dictatorship. Well, madam, that's a good assignment you're giving yourself. But I will not allow the country to become a kleptocracy. So we both have our assignments. I wish you well with the easier one, because there's nobody in Trinidad and Tobago on any course for any dictatorship. But the record will show that the kleptocracy was at work.
Guys, I'm going straight to the phone line. I'm playing Dr. Rowley's speech, taking calls, playing the speech, taking calls until we get it covered. You heard the Prime Minister. You heard him. He is debunking lies. Yeah? He is debunking lies and he is giving facts. You've heard him. What's your thoughts on the issue? I'm reading comments, patients messaging in the chat. Some people are saying there is more important issues. Why is he talking about this? Because he's debunking lies, family. He's debunking lies. Call it live.
I'm personally living in a dream world because
yes, go ahead, Bataria. Go ahead, I'm hearing you.
I'm sorry. Yes. See, because
I'm not sure what's going on with your phone, Barataria. Feel free to call us back. The lines are open. We are taking your calls. Send your voice notes as well. The Prime Minister was very fiery today. He spoke about the former Prime Minister, passing Sections 34 to free financiers. He went into detail. He did not come out to play. The lines are open. Let's go.
And they're in front of the court now. Some been to jail. And then they come and tell us that PRCO is a hoax. Where we living? How could we tolerate such nonsense from people who have a lot to explain, waiting in the wings? And they don't care that by making statements like that, lying about the behavior of the government, lying about the...
Let's take this one, caller live.
Well, Mr. Good evening to you. Aisha Wells.
How you doing, Kingsley?
I am blessed by God, and you was well missed yesterday on the airwaves. I get a lot of texts yesterday, but of course, the Daily after making the why not on the airwaves. Aisha Wells, something good even to your listeners. And as you know, you have one of the best programs on 91.9 from 4 to 7, where you have the ground, the poor man, the layman, and you give the poor man and the layman and the man and them who on the ground to speak out. You don't bring no big shot MPs and big shot political leaders on your program. You open the line and you give the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago the option to speak. And I fully respect that spirit because that is our talk show program supposed to go. And we know the day after because there are plenty people who is talk show hosts and just want to hear themselves. They talk for 4 or 5 hours and then open the lines and give the callers an opportunity. And when the callers don't talk, they talk again and they're talking with the callers. It's a whole set of talk shows today. Just want to talk. On that gladiator, he go ha on them. Aisha, no excuse, no defense. Because as I speak to you, we are looking back to the videos. We go and compare today what Dr. Rowley say, and he say on the political, because we say they, he knows something like a prime minister. But when you want to, on his PNM platform, because you know what, is the lash, is the citizen, over 600,000 people against Dr. Rowley for what Dr. Rowley said last Thursday on the political platform. So he run out today. Even Bajo Pandey, when PNM people was happy to see Bajo Pandey with Dr. Rowley, Bajo Pandey say it right. He comes to attack Bajo Pandey and to tell people here Bajo Pandey they can drink. Bajo Pandey was drunk. That was it. That was he doing. That was Rowley doing. He come here now because after 600,000, the really whole the country, I come and say, why you attacking the DP or office? That is an independent office. Why you come out and talk personal national security and put the DP at them at risk? That's what he do. He put them at risk. So when you hear Dr. Rowley this evening, with the vomit, and Dr. Rowley tell us, yeah, what he say how he's not trying to get the DP out of office. And he have no any party, but I shall have Dr. Rowley tell us country is not going down for the chin. Why we should be leaving this evening? Why we should leave the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago when he tell our children, oh my gosh, Robbie, why keep on lying to us? Why you keep on lying to us? You tell our children that I'm not going to give you office. Leave the DP alone. You're working. You want to be office. You want to control the country. You want to be a because Maduro and Putin is a dictator. You want to control every state of the arm in this country. And because the people of this country stand up, your corporate communist leader are lying. You tell them, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to close. And you close it. You close it, Rowley.
In our youth, we live
mental illness.
We done a lost faith, they're full of such greed.
Mental illness is joke. Caller, you live.
I saw the Kingsley walks over that pack of foolishness he comes putting out on the radio this afternoon. I saw you going, my darling.
I'm good, darling.
Right. I want to tell Kingsley something and Trinidad and Tobago something. I say, you see what that woman, Kamla Seychella, did to this country with Section 34? These people and them should be tried for treason. You understand? These people should be tried for treason, and for Kingsley to come and try to debunk that what the Prime Minister have just said is a very, very nasty and deceitful attack. Right? I say, and I want people to take notice also. I don't know if many people observe what happened to. Do you know the Incheon filed a thing against Coco to stop the singing? And you know who was the judge it ended up in front of? I don't know if people understand who is the judge it ended up in front of.
Yeah, I think we have an idea.
I say no more. Right? So, I want to tell Kingsley and them something. No matter how they try to spin at Dr. Rowley, this and he trying to be a dictator. I saw people have been charged for the same case all over the world. Can now risk being a pariah. Look what she did. This country should never, ever, ever one day. I want to tell Kunja and all of them who support that piece of nastiness that UMT did with that Section 34. These people should never, ever, ever, ever touch power in this country again. And don't matter how they come and try to spin this, don't matter how they come and try to spin this foolishness, we're not having it. We know better, and we're going on with Dr. Wally. I shall Dr. and listen, I'm going to call back. Thank you.
Caller, you live.
Aisha.
Hi, mommy.
Yeah, this no lover. Your last son, he doesn't listen to your program at all on evenings.
Only if in a car.
He don't laugh for the year, Kingsley.
Mommy, the crying is unbelievable.
Yeah, because I know he's on kicks. I know your son loves kicks, right? Listen to me now. Aisha, is crying Kingsley or just crying there or he laughing?
Long tears, mommy, crying.
Well, Aisha, me and I tell you, Larry Joseph, I thought Larry Joseph on your show on the evening too from the mad also, Larry Joseph.
Mommy, we going straight, Larry.
Well, I love you for that. Okay, darling.
Blessings, mommy, blessings. Let's see who else is there. Every line is lit. Caller, you live.
Aisha, good afternoon. And good afternoon.
How you doing?
I know you talk too much to get the point thing. Let me tell you something. I listen to Dr. Rowley today, and again, I tell people that the pride and joy I have in living in Trinidad and Tobago, and more so when the PNM is in office, is yes, you could say that whatever things happen with Dr. Rowley and Mr. Manning and all kind of thing. You see, today, I just love good leadership. Good leadership. And I always tell you, and
Rowley Jr., not sure what happened. Feel free to call back. Caller, you live.
I want you to stop me if I'm wrong. I want you to condemn.
Caller, I'm hearing you.
Me? Could you please tell me? Could you please hear me?
Loud and clear. I'm not sure what happened to your caller. Call back. Caller, you live.
Aisha, good afternoon.
How you doing, Kunji?
I hope your voice come back better. Aisha, you know, that substitute you had there yesterday on your program, I think he had a wonderful program. I think he doing good. He do good. He had a good program. You should rate that program 10 out of 10 yesterday. Aisha, it's amazing to see when you have a government have the citizens of this country crying on national radio, you know. That give us a sign that, hey, it's not a government to support, you know. Government not supposed to make people cry, you know. Government responsibility is to secure the life of the citizens of this country, you know. Not to make them cry, you know. Remember these things that running on YouTube. This running all over the world. Seeing what the Dr. Rowley administration doing to the citizens of this country, you know. It's all over the world that going, you know. And we have people, senior citizens who getting pension, just supporting these nonsense. Some of them try and die. One like me, I will still be mourning and understanding where I went wrong. They call the radio station every day and chastise people. Why is the soul of the generation just keep depleting? Aisha, how Dr. Rowley could come and play so transparent on national radio, national television, and even all over the world? Dr. Rowley lied to this nation for so many things. When Dr. Rowley was campaigning in 2015, they didn't campaign and say they're going to close down Petrotrain. In 2020, when Dr. Rowley was campaigning, them didn't tell the citizens of this country, hey, we off the government back because we go and raise water rate, we go and raise light bill, we go and drop so much of tax on it. Them didn't campaign on that. Them say we're going to have a better living, a better quality of life, and the people's partnership.
Thank you, Kunji. Let me take another one. Caller, you live.
Yeah, Aisha, well, sorry about that. That's what happened. So I was asking you to stop me if I'm wrong, correct me, hang up on me, ban me from calling. If what I go and say here is false, correct me if I'm wrong. Dr. Rowley hold a press conference not to tell us about, boy, what they go and do about crime in the country, how the country going, nothing, but to defend himself from the Guardian, from Kamala, and to my behold, I hear nothing about Vincent Nelson. So I say, now here listening to this press conference, getting vexed, upset, that this man ain't coming to tell me about the real issues in the land. But who lie, and Guardian lie, and Kamala lie. What going on with the murder toll? The murder toll is 130 something in the first 3 months. So if I talk and stupidness, hang up on me, no. Because I ain't hear nothing about no nation, what going on in the nation, what going on with the gas price, food prices high. I really trying to figure out what going on here. There is a press conference to defend the crowd against Guardian media.
All right, caller. So, yeah, I just hung up on you. I have 20 seconds before a break. I'm going to take that break, play some more of Dr. Rowley's speech, come back with your calls. The lines are open.
Father, I plead, please, Lord, have some mercy on the seas. Cause the youth are trying their best, but they're born in this place of lies and commerce. So eventually, when things get heavy, chances are...
What goes in is a local something that makes it all taste better. It's the flavor of our culture. Come from here, come from there, and everywhere. It's a special flavor that's made to savor at the Royal Castle. Welcome the Royal Castle. Royal Castle. Flavor to the bone. Royal Castle. Taste the very own. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better. Taste the unique flavor of our culture at Royal Castle.
Thinking of what to have for lunch or dinner? Here's a meal tip from Royal Castle. If your day is hectic and you have no time to cook, save time. The Castle is known for tasty chicken, but have you tried our rotisserie chicken? Pick up a single meal of a quarter rotisserie chicken and any one side. Choose from crinkle cut fries, creamy potato salad, tasty coleslaw, or a fresh salad. If you really like rotisserie, try one entire chicken. We even have the banquet special, a bigger meal for the entire family of one whole rotisserie chicken, 4 sides, and a 2-liter soft drink. Make sure to pick up some of our creamy honey mustard sauce or tempting pepper sauce and have a delicious, satisfying lunch or dinner. Pop into a branch close to you. See you at Royal Castle, or culture or taste. This meal tip was brought to you by Royal Castle, or culture or taste.
This
season of Lent, get more options from Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Meals made with the freshest fish, seasoned with the Castle's appetizing trendy ingredients and cooked to golden perfection. Choose from the fish combo, 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
Come around with more than 1 or 2 votes. We need the kind of change that's affordable to the rich man or the man that's too broke. TNT, we need a new hope.
Don't worry, lover. Don't worry, friend. Don't worry, partner. You go see thing again. Don't worry, lover. Don't worry, friend. Don't worry, partner. This is not the end. We time coming back again. It's so much my heart to take. I feel like I'm born again. Freedom at last, raise a glass. Oh, you can't live in the past. So look for where madness, David Rudder sail. Look for where straight on in the people place. Look for where real girl and it's only ways. Look for where by the end they go between them in the hall of fame. So can hall of fame in the hall of fame. Why is the culture we defend? Hall of fame. So can hall of fame in the hall of fame. When it comes to party, the spirits have me under it. I don't want no limit. When I come, this is no visit. Every place we look to conquer it. Hey, give me a rhythm, tang-tang. I want to get high like Superman. I don't care about race or religion. One love is the mission. So yeah, babe, don't worry, lover. Don't worry, friend. Don't worry, partner. It's me time again. Don't worry, lover. I know you're missing it. It's a whole mood when we start to get lit. Time coming back again. It's so much my heart could take. I feel like I'm born again. Freedom at last, raise a glass. Oh yeah, can't live in the past. So look for where madness, David Rudder say. Look for where real girl and it's only ways. Look for where shirt off.
Refresh and reflect on the street. 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street. 919 FM.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, no sales, or slow cash flow. It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what we do. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Councillor for Monrepo Nave Nigel Courtier presents Easter Monday Sport and Family Day, Monday 10th April at the Monrepo Recreational Grounds. Come join our 5K run. Kickoff time 5:30 a.m. Then watch as our match pass teams battle for victory. Take part in our Easter egg hunt, track and field, ring games, punch board, and a whole lot more fun events fit for the entire family. Also, be a part of our fitness burnout. Yes, trophies, medals, and cash prizes to be won. Food and drinks will be on sale. Bring your entire family and be a part of Councillor for Monrepo Navet, Mr. Nigel Courtier. Easter Monday Sport and Family Day, the 10th of April 2023. For more information, call 610-2861.
This is the voice of Tuesday Seventh-day Adventist. We are preaching Emergency Alert broadcast, which is from the Tuesday Seventh-day Adventist Church. We will be featuring voices of brethren from different parts of the world, preaching the gospel, preaching prophecy as it relates to current events and the ending of the world. Listen to us on 91.9 FM every Sunday from 9:05 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Sundays. May God bless you as you learn the truth. In Jesus' name, amen.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on The Street 919 FM.
From the beginning, the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago has been focused on creating a sustainable future. For us, sustainability is not just a passion. It is a pledge to our planet that we will be mindful of our impact. It is a plan to help realize the potential of our people. It is a promise to our children that we are thinking of tomorrow. The National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, pursuing sustainability at the forefront of energy.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Public domain in the national circles that is what Trinidad and Tobago is like. We are not like that. Our country is a decent, democratic country where the rule of law prevails and the government does not determine who goes into prison or who doesn't go into prison. That's my country. I have more interest in this country than my own. And I know that this country has to be a place where all of us fight equal space. And therefore we have to be interested in a lot of things that goes on in this country. They are only interested in the treasury. That's why they all are in this situation today. And the party I lead have no requirement to defend anybody. But on the contrary, those who lead people who have conducted criminal actions against the state, they have a reason to want to do things to protect their friends. Show me the PNM, equivalent to Section 34. Show me an Attorney General of the PNM going before the court and telling the court, using the Office of Attorney General, telling the court, do not act in a particular way to bring about extradition, because the matters are about to be imminently dealt with in Trinidad and Tobago. That was 11 years ago. Imminent. 11 years ago. Who did that in this country? You show me the PNM equivalent. Show me in the PNM a whole group of people on charges for criminal conduct. You know, one member of the cabinet of that lady is before the court still for attempting to pervert the course of justice. While that is a fact, she is fabricating stories and asking the police to go after Rowley and Faris unfabricated nonsense when in fact one of her cabinet members before the court and another one is a witness in the matter for the state for attempting to pervert the course of justice. And these things are published without challenge. Without challenge. So if I don't object to it, the unchallenged statements, as ridiculous as they are, will become the reference point of what is true in this country. I never expected to have to come back to this issue after I spoke last week Thursday at the PNM meeting. I didn't attack anybody. I alerted the public to the fact that there was a building that was being rented. As a matter of fact, the building is being rented month to month now. So we have to determine, what do we do with it? We've done everything that we could have done with it to make it usable. The landlord has come in and, as fate would have it, the landlord's final position came the very same week, just a few days before this whole matter blew up with respect to the discontinuation of the cases. But of course, very many people who don't know very much start putting 2 and 2 together and getting 11. Right? So, this week of talking about attack on the DPP and wanting to interfere in the DPP's office, the opposite is the truth. I can tell you that the government that I have led, what we have been doing is solving problems. That's how we kind of focus the government's attention on public interest matters. There are a lot of problems in the country, and we set out to solve them. That is why I could point to you in the whole question of the administration of the law in this country, the judiciary, of which the DPP is a part. We set about, you were hearing that there were not enough judges, and we set about to do that. We expanded the establishment. We ensured that we quickly completed the parliament, put the parliamentarians in the parliament, and gave the judiciary 13 courts in the waterfront. All civil matters are now down at the waterfront. 13, where there are judges on benches, masters in courts, and so on. The court is functioning. And what that did, why it was done that way in such great haste, we now left the entire Hall of Justice for criminal matters. So the whole question of space to conduct the courts on criminal matters, that's how we dealt with it. We focus on subsets with the family court, the children's court. As I speak to you now in San Fernando, we are months away from a brand new family court in San Fernando, because the government exchanged property with the Sisters of Clooney. We took the building and we are converting it into modern court space for the family court of the Southland. That's what we've been doing. Buildings falling down, President's house falling down in the country, we fixed all of it. We're doing it with water, we're doing it with education, we are solving problems. So the DPP office, and it wasn't last week we heard about that, you know. It was before the parliament, saying that there were problems with space. And that's why the cabinet moved with rapidity under the PRESD, which is the Department of the State that deals with rental of property. And having rented the property, security considerations arose. Those were addressed in a reasonable way. And I've seen it said in some quarter that special branch say something and that is law. But let me just say something. Special branch doesn't create the law or even common sense in this country. They make assessment for clients and then they make recommendations. So that recommendation that was made about that building in the context of special branch is a recommendation. And then the decision makers will respond to recommendations and make them as and when they're required. Not to mention, you know, common sense and cost and so on. I moved into this building here. As Prime Minister, I occupy the building at the back. There's a residence at the back here. And it wasn't being used, as you know, as the Prime Minister resident. It was a boudoir of some kind. But when I became, as a matter of fact, it was said by the last Prime Minister before me that it was going to be used as a home for battered women. That's what we're dealing with. So when I became Prime Minister, I immediately said that as Prime Minister, I will occupy the building and function from there. And that's what I done. And that being so, Special Branch had to do, or they did a Special Branch security assessment. If there was a standard security situation around, they wouldn't have to, but they came and they did it. And of course, there was one recommendation that said that the Prime Minister can't pass over here to come in. Special branch recommendation, or special services, and the defense forces involved and so on. Persons come, security experts, and they look at it and they make a recommendation, or they raise an issue that the Prime Minister is exposed to somebody who could go up by the Hilton and stay up there and, as a sniper, shoot the Prime Minister when he comes in through this building.
Aisha, good evening. I tried to call you on WhatsApp. Kingsley at the BRL done sent you to know. The Prime Minister just outlined to us 4 men already making the jail and what they did. And he come to tell me the Prime Minister come to outline and them had a real... Dunce is an understatement to call you, Aisha Wells. He had nothing to do, so he just glad to call you to talk, hoping that the intention that they will give him all more money that he get finish the house. Negroes for sale. I'm sorry, he will continue crying for the rest of his life.
Caller, you live.
Aisha.
SPNM Jama.
Good afternoon. I had to laugh, If Dr. Rowley was a dictator, you feel that gentleman could have come on the radio, say all those things about him, and when he done break down in tears? Eh? If he was a dictator, all now he done get locked up because he's a dictator. You understand? My God. Heaven help, yes? Heaven help. Oh God, boy.
Caller, you live.
Aisha, Wells. Aisha.
Hi, leave it there.
Aisha, like the jersey,
Thank you.
Aisha, Dr. Rowley say he had more interest in this country than his own. He had no choice, Aisha. The Begonians get rid of him. They don't want him. It's only all you. Aisha, I will leave it here.
Thank you, leave it there. Call it live.
Aisha.
Yes. Not ready yet. Call it live.
Aisha, I'm Mr. Lividia. When the man said he had more interest in this country than his own, he meant his own business. So, Mr. Lividia, you are dumb, just like Punji and Kingsley. Oh, God.
It's murders.
Using the entrance. Well, what do? Don't use the building? That wasn't a feasible option. Build a tunnel to come in?
Aisha, good afternoon. Honestly, I just had to switch.
Call it live.
Good afternoon to you, Aisha.
How you doing?
Well, I don't know what sometimes I must come to support my sister because, I always say that the opposition leader don't tell no lies. But I have a simple example of a piece of truth that she said. Aisha, could you remember when she said the black man, and then she come back and said she never said the black man is the drunk man, when it was not conclusive with a sentence at all. I want them to hear, all of them who said it right. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't be conclusive to a sentence. So you saying the drunk man for the rest of what you said. And we had it on tape, and you could search it, she said the black man. And then Aisha, she said, the war is on the land, not on the sea. And came back and said, she never said up. I said, that was a nice piece of truth. Here's a simple example. So those who want to call Dr. Rowley liars, hear the truth about the former Prime Minister, no opposition leader. I just give you only two. And I have many more, Aisha. You know, your brother, not easy with that. Don't come in to come on the radio. I have a school, you know. They could come free. So I said, darling, thank you very much for allowing me there. I just come in with two truthful things that she said. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. When I tell all you the last hour of this show you do not want to miss, I am actually bringing some information for you guys that may shock you, for those of you who don't know, and educate some of you about certain things that we see happening and we just thinking it's not spiritual. I'm going to let you know when we come back after the 6 o'clock hour about candle magic. Remember, some people asking people to protest next week and walk with a candle. Well, on witches.org, a website for witches, real life witches and warlocks, they tell you how to do candle magic. The steps you should take, the color candles you should use, and how to manifest the outcome. I'm not making these things up. I found it extremely strange that my good friend Andy Williams asked people to walk with a candle for their protest next week. I say, but candle is used for wake. People don't use candle just so. But with them, you know, you're always at a deep below the surface. So I went. And what I uncovered may shock you. So you know that there is rituals associated with a coffin. So to be dragging it all over the place is also ritualistic. And when one look at the days and the direction of the moon, that the coffin is being dragged, you know what? Let me hold it up. Let me hold it till the next hour. But all I can tell all is everything that glitter ain't gold, eh? I'll take some more calls. All my paws raising in here.
Aisha Wells, good afternoon. I'm not taking a PNM or UNC. When I hear Kunji come there and talk that talk, it does make me feel to support Dr. Rowley right because he making no sense. And thereafter come that she's always said that. But you making no sense, Kunji. You're just encouraging me to vote for PNM. Only making no sense, boy. You're a loser. Dr. Rowley really say he's a MC, a pimps and a chimps. Aisha Wells, good afternoon. How it is after Kunji? Heavy this come after like the pain to them to march together, the fighting opposition in the UNC government? Damn fool.
Caller, you live.
Aisha Wells, good afternoon again. Now, a man called to tell me that Dr. Rowley called a news conference to talk about things and then talk about crime. Crime is the commissioner's responsibility, the chief of defense staff, the SIA. It has about almost 5 different agencies, right, need to deal with crime in our country. And mind you, Dr. Rowley, all you want to take him to task to the whole process with Gary Griffith, because it look like in Trinidad, when they give a man a job, he being rude and disrespectful or whatever, the fact that he employed, don't move him, or go to hell to move him, and people vote me in. Well, look, Aisha Wells, that news conference today, it shows again how the media is disingenuous. Come up and say, I don't keep no interview. She don't sit and have a chat to get body language. She just go in the back of somewhere, they dress her good, and she come on another Monday night forum. Let me see if we could put together. 3 people respond to Mr. Gaspard Boy. They want to bring him down. And she went and have a news conference and the media run with it. bats looking for food. They just run with it. That's the problem we face in here, you know. And a man tell me, don't keep a news conference to clear a man's name and to clear the whole idea that when you have somebody saying the Prime Minister want to bring down a DTP, those are serious things you have to call a news conference for. Serious thing. Not only that, apparently, when you win a case, because of either, you see not so much evidence, but you're seeing because of the length of time, people die. Evidence cannot be brought forward based on the unavailability of people. Apparently, they get set up. Mr. Tim Gopi Singh get charged for something really not central something, and when they charge him under the wrong section, and he says his mind is pure and his heart is clean, they charge him under the wrong section, nothing to do with the offense. Now, they would think about Dr. Raleigh in relation to the thing when they didn't give them, just how Gary Griffith went to the firearm thing and said he didn't get a chance to think himself. All these are areas you could lose your case. But I sure know it's amazing. Dr. Raleigh went in detail to show these disingenuous citizens that the Piaco incident, people in the state.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Refresh and reflect on the Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
This season of Lent, get more options from Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Meals made with the freshest fish, seasoned with the Castle's appetizing Trini ingredients and cooked to golden perfection. Choose from the fish combo, 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
Why I have this big smile on my face? I got the keys to my home today. I did it with help from TTMF, and it was much easier than I thought. They can help you too.
The belief that the mortgage process is complicated should not stop you from buying a home. At TTMF, we can help you every step of the way. Visit us online or call us today. TTMF, from here to home.
Job Optimum Health and Wellness. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Get your Bioplasma Diagnostic Full Body Scan. Examines all of your organs in a single session. 95% accuracy. It's painless, non-invasive, and affordable. Call Pastor Job at 350-2628, 767-1031, or 275-6300. Sick and tired of being sick and tired? Get your Bioplasma Diagnostic Full Body Scan at Job Optimum Health and Wellness.
Dr. Livette. Join him right here on your radio every Friday afternoon from 5:05 p.m. to 5:35 p.m. for your dose of the health and wellness in a program that is sure to change your life. Popular for promoting Livette rather than diet, Dr. Livette has transformed a number of lives nationwide and is now live on the Street 919 FM every Friday from 5:05 p.m. Tune in and also learn about the U-Juice to build your immunities and promote overall great health. Dr. Livette on the Street 919 FM this and every Friday from 5:05 p.m. to 5:35 p.m. It's time that you live.
When we come into the steel bond in the engine. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. Jam is a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on what's it. In the meantime, why don't you try love to make that a unified. Let them keep the money we not taking back. They go come run me down when you see them get this song. Get this song when you're ready. Ready when the animal ready to go down. In the engine room. It's a vibe in the system and me jamming to the steel band. In the engine. Come on, join the line. Grab your bottle and spoon. Jamming. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jamming steady. In the engine room we go get on massive. In the meantime, why don't you join the line? Grab your bottle and spoon and come let we party in the engine room. Hey, I'm telling you now, if we could just put aside we pride and let Jaja be we guide, then love will be the prize and no one will feel that type.
Share the Lodge. Share the Lodge. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the Lodge. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the Lodge. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the Lodge. The Street 919 FM.
We are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You see, too many of us walking around this place without looking at things for what they really are. It is extremely important to understand that there are no coincidences in life. And people don't do things by accident anymore. I think it is public knowledge that spiritual wickedness in high places exists, particularly in a country where people think it's okay to partake in these type of practices. Those type of practices is something that they used to do in secret. But they're no longer doing it in secret. They are comfortable enough to do it in the open. So what struck a chord with me, Trinidad and Tobago, is the call made by a talk show host by the name of Andy Williams yesterday, asking persons to come to a protest and bring a candle. First I said, the last time I heard about candle was all them candlelight vigil that they were having all over the place. But this protest that the UNC is having is in the daytime. by the DPP office. Why would they want the public who come in to walk with candles? So I called someone who is very versed in these types of situations, who had to shake them up. She said, Aisha, what you saying? You still walking around here and not seeing things from Canal, girl? So I was taken aback. I said, what you mean? She said, so you don't know candle magic exists? I say magic. Once you start to talk magic, I don't start to backpedal. Because I believe it's Obia thing. I believe it's them kind of bacchanal. So me and really in that. I not in that. She say, wait, and walk around the place normal. And then feel because you don't believe in it, it's in a people how they doing it. So she sent me on a journey to do my own investigation. And I came upon a website that actually teaches Wiccans how to perform candle magic. I won't say all of it's on radio because I don't want to dabble too deep in it. But the long and short of it is the color of the candles matter. The phase of the moon matters. And the most basic type of candle magic is to visualize your outcome, your goal. Repeat a sentence. Rowley must go. Rowley must go. And light your candle and release the energy. You see, what I uncovered is that candle magic has everything to do with releasing of energies. But like I say, I don't want to go too deep because me want to dance and party with the devil playing the tune. So I digress. So when I realized that the candle magic thing is sense, I called she back and said, so what going on with this candle, with this coffin thing? They dragging coffin and they have on the coffin Rowley PM must go and all kind of thing. What about that? She say, do you know that coffin rituals are also real? I say, well, I don't know about them thing. She said, do you know the color of the coffin matters? I say, there's difference in color. She say, oh yes. Think about it. Do they really bury a dead with a black coffin? You may see a brown. You may see a dark brown. But do you ever really see people bury dead in black? Black coffins in particular? I say no. She say, go back to energy. The coffin that these people dragging is black. I didn't notice. I really didn't pay attention. She said, yeah, it matters. The color of the coffin matters. She said, coffin signifies death and transitioning. She said, the question you had to ask yourself, Aisha Wells, is what they have in the coffin. Well, I stop now because, like I tell all you, I doesn't like to dabble in thing that the devil play in the tune. She say, oh yes. Where do they store the coffin when they're not dragging it? It set me a thinking. She say, Aisha Wells, all you sit down there and kikiki and kakaka and NC, this is necromancy playing itself in broad daylight for everybody to see and nobody could do anything about it. I diverge. I rest my case. I'm opening the phone lines. I'm allowing you guys to get in. Have your say on this, but all that glitters in gold. Caller, you live.
Hello, good afternoon, Aisha.
How you doing, darling?
Fine, thank you. Well, you know I will call. Listen, sorry about the feedback. Yeah, well, you know, I'll call on this one, and you're talking some good things there. Oh, well, I'm going to give my people strength. I'm going to give the Prime Minister strength. I'm going to give all this strength. Those candle worships and stuff like that, Aisha, which, you know, you're afraid to delve into more, which is correct. When you're reading and you're going through them kind of things, you just have an audience around you, right? Not really a nice audience, so to speak, right? And urging you on and sending you the vibrations that you need for your wickedness and your nastiness and your evil now. However, I wouldn't be long. However, to conquer these things, just know that your consciousness powering up whatever entity you want to power up to do what them do. Now, the entity have consciousness too. All things are created equal. But you in your weakness believe that this spirit or these spiritual matters we're dabbling in, you believe it more powerful than you now. Anyway, they just wait for you when you're dead too. So you bring up a very good topic here this evening, Madam Aisha. Right? So I just want to give you the strength. The strength is, you see that consciousness that you have, more powerful than any of you. However, you have to purify your mind to approach your consciousness. You have to get rid of your nastiness and your wickedness and evil, and it will guide you towards how to deal with people like them. But in closing, if you want to conquer that kind of wickedness and that kind of evil, pull your consciousness back away from your ego and observe your ego, observe your mistakes, observe the good you're doing, observe the bad you're doing, observe the mistakes you're making, and dwell within that. And you are that. And it wouldn't be able to touch you because it's sending it at your ego. Well, your ego is your point of observation. You itself. What identifying like on the radio station, the people you meet, your family and stuff, but you have a higher self, pull your consciousness back to your higher self and nothing can touch you. Aisha Wells, people go listening, but have those that are not listening.
Thank you so much, caller. Caller, you're live. The lines are open. Caller, you're live.
Aisha Wells.
Hi, mommy.
I want to say something here this afternoon. You see Keith Christopher Rowley, and I repeat, you see Keith Christopher Rowley, they got to give that.
Mommy, you there?
I hear.
Mother Tunapuna, how are you?
Aisha, good afternoon, sweetheart. How are you doing?
Darling.
How my grandson and them?
Them boy and them good, you know.
Well, you know, I go call in, Pote.
Mother, listen, mother, I get frightened, you know.
For what?
Now listen to all these kind of...
All ye of little faith. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For thou art with me, the rod and the staff will company. I shall see all the obedient working, believe, kill, and believe, kill. Once you don't believe, they could conjure what they want. Do it all. You hear the man just talk? Be conscious and don't entertain and don't fall for that. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. And don't think for one moment, all the candles, they could burn all the candles, they could pull all the coffins, they could throw all the liquid and all. It's one liquid you have to throw, and you could conquer all that evil, Aisha. But do not believe in anything that they are doing. Do not believe. Make your mind strong and hard. Aisha, don't be scared. Aisha, no mother will tell you the thing like it is.
But mother, me don't know is all that bacchanal you can do with a candle.
Aisha, let me tell you something. When you put light, look, hello. When you put light to a candle, you could command the candle to do what you want it to do. But the person, the unbeliever, who believes, tell it for me. It ain't coming, it ain't touching me. It was still right there with them, Aisha. is your belief, your strong belief, and your faith in Almighty God, Jehovah. Have no doubt whatsoever. I tell me afraid Obia. To me, Obia is a state of mind. You just play on your mind with Obia Aisha and God. And that cry, baby, cry to the here coming back. You and still not coming back, so you have to cry all. Aisha, you have to forever cry because they're not coming back. You hear? And don't even fight with them as the coffin. Watch and watch God work. All of them will fall one by one in that coffin. You watch. I go.
Caller, you live.
Let me say, good afternoon to you. Chavez again. And I want to ask you the question. You stay home yesterday to go and listen to that? Now, you stay home yesterday to do?
Kingsley, I had to know.
Aisha, but why when Dr. Rowley said he lives close to Leketo, and the man who put him out of cabinet, you get it. When Dr. Rowley talk in tongues on the stage, Aisha, do I remember when he said he could have killed everybody? Dr. Rowley talk in tongues. Aisha, when Dr. Rowley went and vote in 2020 with a line in his hand. When he comes flag and he meets Marshall Walker, I end up seeing the line in his hand, and I screenshot it, and I zoom it in, and I take it from the YouTube, the PNM YouTube page. So I have it as evidence where I get it from. Dr. Robbie went and voted. So when you want to talk about Obia, the biggest Obia man in this country, Aisha, we know who it is. We know who it is. We know how big this certain individual is. So when we're going to talk about people going to do all kind of things in this country, we have to ask Dr. Christopher Rowley why he went and vote. And I dare him. This is Kingsley. And I dare Mommy to kind of test for him, because every Wednesday, Mommy just go and line up back and back that she will get a calling on the radio.
All right, so, Kingsley.
We understand. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you too. Thanks. Caller, are you there? Caller, you live.
Aisha,
yes, Mommy.
What's up, Pearl? You went and vote with a line?
Apparently, you was going to make lime juice.
What? Aisha, listen to me now. What is line up every Wednesday?
By the Diego Martin office for hamper, Mommy.
Well, I never know. Diego Martin office, Diego Martin West constituency office give what hamper on a Wednesday. But I'm going to stop spreading propaganda talk now. I would tell them something. If you keep Christopher Rowley, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Mommy, you there? Caller, you there?
Good evening, dear journalists and former councillor out of the Port of Spain Corporation.
Thank you so much. They need to do something about this line, eh? The beep, 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 and then cut off and somebody else on the line when you're talking to Mommy or talking to Tabakit. Tabakit, good afternoon.
Pleasant afternoon. Look, let me see if I could add 2 cents quickly about this entire, if you want to call it necromancy, or you want to call it bad. And you see, white is I don't want to go too much on this, I told you last week, because of the lantern. So I sort of observe it, but I'll still touch on it. You see, I'll tell you this. Former artist Leroy Clark, who you know was a Pan-African brother, and what he said, the Obianess in me brought me here. Obia, the word have been used in the wrong context because of slavery and how they brought our ancestors to this neck of the woods. But let me push aside that and attempt to see if I could help you here. Because I hear everybody calling and they're making joke with this thing. But too much joke and no joke. Anybody who going to do bad will not come out and say it in the public. And let me repeat this. Anybody who going to do bad and have the intention to do it, they will not play it off in the open public. However, a coffin bears significance to the underworld. When you talk in terms of the lodge movement, and that is what we have in Trinidad, the lodge movement. We don't have the skull and bones. What they really use it for, people lie down in it and they pass sword across the belly. But I'll tell you something. You said something this evening, and I don't know if you know where you would have gone. And if the callers listening attentively, because those who call in back and forth really not speaking to what you really, where you want to go. Let's go there. What you said, and let me go back there, and you raise a pertinent point. Where the coffin stays after the demonstration. And this is a big billion-dollar question. Who house it stays by? Because trust me, look, people don't hate Tabakit, but I trying to attempt to go there because this is
Tabakit, take us there. We need to know.
Okay, come on now. Now this has nothing to do with UNCPNM anymore, but we're dealing with the issue of bad, so to speak. You see the thing about it? Hello you. So when you're going there, whosoever house it is, after midnight, what start to happen is all kind of elements and spirit and verm of the night start coming. Because I'll tell you, you know, the devil like darkness. And in darkness, comfort sin. Now listen, people. I ain't no seer man, and I ain't nobody who does deal in the ends of the earth, and let me call the right name. You see, when you're dealing with Belzinier and Beelzebub, Belzinier is the woman, and Beelzebub is the man. Now, Now, I don't know what is written and could be placed in the same coffin. Because this thing's serious. And the person, let me put the person or persons on notice. Whether they know it or not, they could go mad. Because after the coffin finished drag, that person could see a hand calling them. When they finish that, because you see, even though you're making it in joke, you're dealing with the dead, you know. Because it's only dead just lie down in coffin. And the other things lie down in coffin is vampire. And if you're not a vampire, which means you're to the higher order, and I have to go there. This has nothing to do with any particular prime minister or any particular party, UNCPNM, let's call it. This is people like prime ministers, judge, magistrate, big businessmen, all of them. Where they meet in the lodge and where they lie down and they pass, they had to have sword to pull across in the coffin on the belly and all this kind of thing. Look, I might get cursed for it, but the first prime minister was in a lodge. That is why they didn't show his body at all. When you're in a lodge, the orders of the lodge, they can't show your body. So people was wondering if people never, then let Tabaki break it all. Why they couldn't show the first prime minister body, he was in a lodge. Go and find out from all your grandmother, grandfather. This is not bad talking PNM, but we're dealing with the facts. And the facts is the facts. So this thing here, when you're dealing with coffins, you start to deal with certain elements. So I don't want to stay too long to confuse the thing. But anybody who going into these rituals, you have to call it rituals, they do it publicly. So what is happening, I don't want to use the other word. People just playing the fool, so to speak. But while playing the fool, you want to be careful. But let me go back there, because you raise a pertinent point. where the coffin staying after they play the fool. Who house it's staying by? Whether it's staying in some street because they wanted to stay by them.
Or whether Tabakit, or whether it's staying in an open grave. Go ahead.
Look, let me talk the talk. Now, if anybody, boy, look where you're going, girl. You see, look, you start to touch some kind of nerve. Hey, let me go there. You see the thing about it, I don't think the person or persons, I want to talk in the vernacular in the long time way now. Because to bring this thing, you have to talk long time in the vernacular. So I had to use vernacular term. So the person or person who have that coffin, hey, look you, whether or not, if it's stained, hey, my pause raising here, girl. Whether or not, if it's stained by that person. Now, if it is stained by that person, and if you say going by a grave, now, I don't know what the person washing their hands with. Now, in the dead of the night, so what we're looking at here is Belzinier and Beelzebub and all the dark ages. Good evening, Mother Tuna Puna. And why I'm telling you all of this to say, I tell you, power corrupts and get people crazy. There is many things happening in this country. I want to go back somewhere. When the commissioner said, and she called for prayer, I'm glad you raised that. People wanted to kill her. But I'll tell you this. You see the things that the police and them seen in the dead of the night, and when they go to take up a body, they can't really bring it to you. Look, sister, let me tell you, and we generalizing now. This place full of bad and opium, necromancy. You see, the thing power. And when I'm saying that, all sides, I ain't total no prisoners, I ain't picking no party here. Because you know I gone independent. So what they're going with this coffin, according to you, because talking in the vernacular now, who, whether or not, if they're dismantling this thing or they're laying this thing lie below the house, I go really want to know who is that person, you know. And if I know who is the person, I go want, if I see them on TV, or if I see them in person, anywhere I see them, I could read their forehead, and tell you, this person's hands is dirty. Because long time when they tell you your hand dirty, which means you're doing nastiness. So staying with the coffin thing, hey boy, what happened to all you? All you see what you're doing here? Sister Aisha, you raised something, and I don't know if you know what you raised. Before you leave the studio, I want you to say 7 Our Father. Why I want you to say the 7 Our Father prayer, you're touching a nerve, and I don't know if you know where you're going, is you have to leave the studio to drive to go home. So I want you know the Our Father prayer. I want you to say 7 just before you leave the studio. Why? It is the most complete prayer, and nothing that is evil can stand in alignment with the Creator. Now, I'll tell you this. I had to go there to try to attempt. You see, it's because of the Lenten season I just observe it, because I have a big cross in front of me right now, you know, and I have a big red cloth to signify the blood. Yeah? And now bursting that to the public, because I really look at the resurrection of our Lord and Savior. And mind you, the only thing you're supposed to keep up is the memorial of Christ. Yeah? And if we say in the memorial of Christ, you remember before they put the Christ to the cross, and when Jesus hung his head and the tear that fall from his eye, it nearly burst the sky. You remember Mama Malody? Now hear this term I use in Mother Tuna Puna know what I say. Long time when they talk Mama Malody, now people might know what I'm saying here. Mama Malody. When the tear that fall from the Christ's eye before they take him from the cross and it nearly split the earth. You remember the demon head and how it was balling evermore. So from since in the time of the Christ, this dirty, stinking evil is there.
Tabakit, 40 seconds before a break.
Let me close. So the pertinent billion-dollar question you have this evening, where the coffin stain? And if that coffin stain by a house and it is not dismantled, is either that person playing the ASSS or they're really involved, but they know what they're doing. And if they're really playing the fool, they could go mad and they know it. That is it on that coffin. I go come back in if you want me, But this thing is easy. The lantern saving what I can't say, girl, because I just observe it. And you go with God, say the house 7 our Father prayer to combat this dot evil.
Best late entry of the century. Braga! Yo! I'm not going no small fete. Let me extend my apologies. Only big fete with big flag going overhead like canopy. Rag in me back pocket with a white vest, sneakers and wallabies. Knife tips and tight pants. I never really rate none of these. I come from brass festival and from customs and from flour mills. Was a fete, fire fete and licensing fete and them had a power pill. Everybody gone nice and groovy bunchy, all you pushing power still. If it's me, you don't leave me with power on a hill. I come here for no stand up. I come to party with my hand up. So all soca people put your 2 hands in the air. Your 2 hands in the air. Your 2 hands in the air. I never come here for no stand up. I come to party with my hand up. All soca people put your 2 hands in the air. Your 2 hands in the air. All soca lovers do this. Show me your hand. 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 All I know is pace. Feathers rough like sea. Going out all night. No go home before 3. When one fed done, we start a soca spray. So it go with way. You know, ask why we no question mark. We take why with apostrophes. Get down with more lyrical content than Socrates. She could have shaped like a triangle with a cosine of isosceles. Any other thing different, red, that is blasphemy. I come here for no stand up. I come to party with my hand up. So all soca people put your 2 hands in the air. Your 2 hands in the air. Your 2 hands in the air. All soca lovers do this. Show me your hand. 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 Show me your hand.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Refresh and reflect on the Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
This is the voice of Tuesday, Seventh-day Adventist. We are preaching Emergency Alert broadcast, which is from the Tuesday, Seventh-day Adventist Church. We will be featuring voices of brethren from different parts of the world, preaching the gospel, preaching prophecy as it relates to current events and the ending of the world. Listen to us on 91.9 FM every Sunday from 9:05 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Sundays. May God bless you as you learn the truth. In Jesus' name, amen.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Onia Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud.
Wow.
Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
In neutral, but it's both. Know the conversation. Who is toting the coffin? The people who are toting the coffin is the UNC. So I don't understand how all of them is the same thing. And you tell me about the prime minister. So you're trying to link everybody together. Eh? Aisha Wells.
Hands is dirty. Because long time when they tell you.
Aisha right now I'm billing it with Tabakit by Tabaz. Oh my God. Hear this, Aisha. Try and bring up this topic a little once a month or a little once a fortnight now. Or a little once a week or something. Just for me to hear Tabakit talk about it. Oh my God. How entertaining. Tabaz, have a good evening, man.
Aisha, good afternoon. Was it sometime this week I heard something about somebody fighting for our souls or the soul, something to that effect? If I'm not mistaken, these people, I just want them to remember the world is still, the globe is still on its axis. Careful what you say and do. It makes full circle. Yeah? Have a good one. Somebody touch me. Somebody touch me. Somebody touch my soul when I was praying. Praying to me, Jesus, somebody touch my soul.
No evil will befall this country, I say so. Rastafari liveth, blessed.
Good afternoon, Aisha. We have a march next week Tuesday. We'll be out there. Walk with a candle to get rid of the evil on this land, the PNM. Good afternoon, Aisha. We have a march next week Tuesday. Walk with a candle. You're looking to get rid of this evil, wicked government. You're playing nice shooting the Obia man. Time for the PNM to go, but we fed up on them, boy.
Aisha right now I'm billing it with Tabakit by Tabaz. Oh my God. Hear this, Aisha. Try and bring up this topic a little once a month or a little once a fortnight now. Or a little once a week or something. Just for me to hear Tabakit talk about it. Oh my God. How entertaining. Tabaz, have a good evening, man.
Every food prices going up all over the world. Get the young boys in Labanti to put down the guns. Kunchi, tell me who is Rawan now?
Aisha, good afternoon. You didn't hear Dr. Rowley speak about the murders? Well, darling, what you have to do is to tell your leader to join with Dr. Rowley, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, and sign the bills. That is what all you have to do, sign the bills. So at least something might be done when all you sign the bills.
Good afternoon, Aisha. I really called just to say my piece. So I giving out my piece. Who the cap fit, let them wear it. All you so-called humans who is against Mr. Rowley and lying against Mr. Rowley, when the breath of life leave your body, keep lying on people. You're just showing what you does in life. You lie on people a lot. Not only on Dr. Rowley, but a lot of people in your lives. You got to meet God and you got to answer what it is Mr. Rowley do so wrong. Not all you have to be lying on him so. What does Mr. Rowley do? None all you can show what wrong. Mr. Rowley thief any money from the country. Mr. Rowley rape anybody in the country. Any of the ministers rape anybody.
Aisha Wells, Pageant Tabakit. He know about all them Obia kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Pageant Tabakit. We need an explanation. Now, since they're independent, we need a full explanation.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is truly Diamond in the building. Aisha Wells, Queen of Talk, good afternoon. A blind man, a deaf man, a man that is lame could see that these people are hell-bent to mash up this country. That's why she say, if we fail, blood on the streets. Aisha, that's why they paid the churches, the lawyers. That's why they gave police leave and a lot of institutes, the media. You know, say, the woman say, and nothing can be wrong, but that is a lie. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the right thinking citizens, whether we go to church or we don't go to church, we know there's a God. We have to be praying. Pray covers everything. Sincere prayer against these wicked. We know in these times what is taking place and what will take place, right? But we have to ask God to cover us from these wickedness that taking place. And it ain't started today. But if you look in the part, the times of old, that's what took place with Pharaoh and them. You understand? To keep the people under their foot soles. But Aisha Wells, Dr. Rowley and the government and the people of Trinidad and Tobago, let's pray every day. Pray. Aisha Wells used to have a program and even asking people to pray. Start back, Aisha. Start back. Look how Kingsley believing boy crying. That's fake. That's fake. And conjure on them and I'm telling you, a lot of us will get deceived. Anyway, I'll leave it there. But Aisha,
You think it's easy? Caller, you're live.
Correct. We really have to pray for this country. When people have no problem with going to a respected function like the RIC for consultation and dragging around with a coffin, and people have no problem with that, something wrong. And our country under the blood, strong blood, don't get tired. Aisha, it is under the blood if it wasn't under the blood. What I want to tell people is stop taking money for doing nonsense. Stop taking $5. Imagine I hear any heavy and all of this. Aisha heavy and them just travel ashore. They just go New York and all them places and don't know that all those people around there just pay property taxes. And they don't know the police in the inner city is equivalent to borough police. They don't know that, They don't know that. All these things, and everything, I want to remind them, within everything, Kamala Prasad sit down there with 18 other people and starving our own constituent and people up here. I keep telling all you, she knows fully well that the implementation of all the measures Dr. Oli recommends through his cabinet and through his MPs going to enhance the lives of the same people having them complaining about. Imagine having them getting slapped and they know it, Real slap from Kamala Prasad. And then know that, hey, wake all you up, boy, wake up. Dr. Oli trying to wake you up, not to slap, with ideas to know, hey, our country could benefit from the thousands of dollars under suspicious transactions that could come to the revenue authority. While you're coming here, you, the Kingsleys and the Brooklyns and don't know, black men, That was what me, Black men living in New York and know fully well, Aisha Wells, that the taxes take care of the people and the taxes that people could pay. And they're talking about think money, and Kamala sit down right there. It's Kamala benchmark? Kamala benchmark is to say no to everything and raise issues that all the people feel that she could get voted in. Let me end. I will repeat this like my partner from Barataria. You can't get 29 seats. And if every them in the way is 29 seats, it seems that could give you what you call changes in your parliament. The life of the people, just like in America, the life of the people is in the Congress. Only the life of the people is in the parliament. And that parliament, when Dr. Odi stand and say, hey, we want whistleblower, that I could know who do this in the higher echelon of society, Kamala say no. So I don't want to hear Heavy and Kingsley crying like a crying backside and all these other people who don't know anything. But taking $10 to come on the radio to say something. Well, let's have a safe afternoon. I saw shame, You know what shame, Aisha? This is a beautiful country. And you have one woman, desperate to get into office, telling people not voting for this. And you have other people on the other side. We're claiming they want to deal with poor people. Not supporting Dr. Rowley.
Caller, you live.
Aisha.
How you doing,
Mr.
mother?
Tabakis, I hear you loud and clear. You're calling me name. I want to tell you something, Mr. Tabakis. You see that order we talk about. When it's follow these dropouts who went in secret orders and they drop out and they come out of practice when they saw where they went in. These orders and them, whoever they be, there is secrecy. What they're doing there with that COVID has nothing to do with it when they go into the private chambers. You understand, Mr. Tabakis, that I could remember well. I'm old and stupid. But I remember you, Mr. Tabakis, went around the towers. I can't remember if it's riot or one of them with OBC. Right? And
Mother, 1 minute. Mother, what does OBC do?
Well, at Tabakis, I don't know nothing about that. I know the Horatians that use that. From my spiritual experience, the OBC, they have a male and a female. I'm standing to be corrected. And I think they said that in the Bible. Tabakis went wrong, but you remember that, Aisha?
I remember, but I didn't know what it is for.
Tabakis went from there and he went
I remember.
And BLM still win the damn election. You remember that?
Remember.
BLM still won the election. So I don't know when Tabakis coming in there that just frighten people. All your beliefs still and this. I shall let me tell you something. You hear what I'm telling you? It have a song, the truth gave me trouble these days. I will sing a little piece for you. I must have the Savior with me, for I dare not walk alone. I must feel His presence near me, and His arms around me thrown. Then my soul shall fear no ill. Let Him lead me where He will. I will go without a murmur, and His footstep follow still. It don't matter when they drop the cup in Aisha. You hear what I'm telling you? Look how long they're dragging it, and nothing is happening. And nothing is going to happen. We rebuke it in the name of Almighty God, Jehovah. No darkness could prevail over life. And they have to call Dr. Rowley a big obia man, because all what they're doing to him, it's in him. So that's why they send the obia man, because they should have killed him by now, and he ain't dying. He like me, he had 9 lives. So they have to come again with some.
Tabakit must tell us what the OB seed was about. I really remember that OB seed back in but I did not know. I didn't know what it meant.
You know, I want to know, good evening again, sister. You know, I want to know, when did Tabakit become neutral? And Tabakit, I want you to explain to us, what make you neutral that you leave the UNC now to come to tell you you're neutral? Everybody in Trinidad and Tobago who have some sense know that the Prime Minister, the first Premier, was in the lodge. Anybody who know history of Trinidad and Tobago. So I don't understand why it is you bring that into the conversation about men toting coffin. The people who toting the coffin is the UNC. And ask yourself, what reason are they toting this coffin for? That's what we want you to tell me since you leave the party. Right? And tell me why you leave the party. Is it because of the same thing? Don't try to link all of the conversation as UNC. People are toting a coffin. The head man of that was Victor Roberts. Jolene John and Kamala at one time went to the Minister of Health house. They drop a coffin by the Minister of Health house. I didn't hear it then. Beelzebub. I've been hearing this Beelzebub, and Aisha Wells is about 20 years he's singing the same song. Sister, enjoy evening.
Caller, you live.
Aisha Wells, good afternoon.
How you doing, Brooklyn?
I am well, and good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Aisha Wells, I was like to have a kid in the pavilion, just watching down in the arena, and I hear Rowley Jr. talk about Brooklyn. Rowley Jr., I'm not a UNC Rowley Jr., so don't class me as a UNC, because I listen to when your money finish first. Your phone cut or your money done. You hit Bataria text, and Bataria send you phone card where you have for next week, because you know, always get phone card to call the radio 2 weeks in advance. So always get phone card every month, or they get 2 shipments of phone card, and you know, you use up yours now, because you want to call all the radio station Rowley Jr. But Rowley Jr., you come and you talk about the blood. I will tell you something. Everybody that believe in a religion, believe in the same thing Tabaki talk about. We just call it Obia. But all you believe, anytime you believe in a religion or anything spiritual, you believe in that. Or they don't want to say that. All you believe in that. Aisha Wells, Haiti used Obia to fight against France, to defeat France when they had guns and swords. Haiti had to use Obia to over. That's why the Caribbean is so free. That's why we in Trinidad. Where we in Trinidad and Tobago?
Brooklyn, I have a minute. A minute. Brooklyn, a minute. Bring it home.
No, because Rowley Jr. and them put a tail between the leg when it's time to battle. When you stand up with the Red Army of Kingsley and Anderson, Rowley Jr. and them are jokers, Aisha Wells. Bataille and them are jokers. Them are not no real warriors. I want to let them know that. Don't call out Brooklyn. He go mash up all you.
Right, Rowley Jr., you just have a minute. Bring it home.
Yes, he do. Brooklyn, you don't have no venom from my colleague and I. None at all. We deal with the facts. The facts normally hurt for you to talk some phone card. I don't have to tell you the state of my phones, but nobody, and Dr. Rowley, we operate at a higher principle. We don't take cards to make calls. We have our conversation. We take the topics and deal with all you without a cost to Dr. Rowley, the PNM, or anybody, because we are nationals of this country, proud to live here, right? You stay with your pride in New York. But let me end. You see, us, we know why we support a party that don't look for us to be looking for no money.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Take it easy, Aisha Wells. I love you, Brooklyn. All you mustn't take things so personal. All the best.
I'm out of here until tomorrow, people. Pay attention, eh? Walk by faith and not by sight. All right, I'm out of here till tomorrow. Be safe and have a good one.
The weekend. Yo. It's a feel-good weekend. On the street.